Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Only Football. Max Urbandler and Michael Holder recording earlier than usual, and with the ham beast in the next door. So we'll see how that goes. You good?
I know you're good. Like, a big smile on your face. 4-4 loss.
But... Yeah, great weekend for United. That's just where we're at. You know, that's
because it doesn't even matter if they play anymore. They're just reliant, or you fans are reliant on, you know, as the episode's called, the torn quad.
Yeah, it's a little shameless.
Still not out of the picture yet.
It's not. It's 100% not. But definitely they need a speedy recovery, and City did them some big favors, which they did not on the weekend, begging 5 for that goal differential too. Like honestly, United, they outdid themselves. Like quickly, like they actually outdid themselves. Thought maybe after Brentford they'd be kind of bouncing back a little bit. The players that played so well in that match, a lot of them, Mata especially, Matic playing that much. I wouldn't have subbed out Matic at halftime. That was a huge mistake, and it should have been McTominay. But really, really embarrassing performance. Really embarrassing season. Really summed it up.
Oh, but it doesn't matter because I don't think we'll touch them for the rest of the season.
No. Well, they might not make Europa League. Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah, we'll see last week, week 38.
Patrick Vieira would love. We play Palace. Patrick Vieira would love to do us over.
Yeah, West Ham still has to.
They play City next weekend.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
But yeah, okay. Let's actually forget about those clods and actually get on to a team that is top quality and ran into another organized team that really gave them all today. Spurs on the road to Liverpool at Anfield.
Yeah, ended 1-1. I thought Liverpool would still be, driven enough and come out flying. And, you could expect Conte and Tottenham to know that they are a bit overmatched and, and the players they have aren't up to the quality that Liverpool has. But I thought Liverpool would still be able to bag one early and break them out of their shell.
Yep. Lloris with a couple of early key saves to keep it 0-0 and keep them frustrated.
But I think if one of those go in,
oh, absolutely,
it's
different
game.
It's
a romp at that point.
Maybe. I mean, even like last week, I thought it was gonna be tight. I thought that Liverpool would edge it at a 2-1. You had I think an easy 3-0.
3-0.
And even if they conceded Spurs early, it could have absolutely gone that way for you. But again, I think the message would have been going into that match from Conte to Spurs players is that there's probably a good chance that we do concede relatively early in the first half, down 1-0. Or after the first 25 minutes, we're down 1-0, and we just need to stick to the game plan, keep our shape. They might just want to try to put the game to bed at 1-0, Liverpool that is, and then we can hit them on the break. They didn't even get that chance. They were countering. They
were countering well for
extremely well.
And that was the game plan because if the further they sit back, the more room they would have on the counterattack, and that's why they sit back so deep and make Liverpool a team that can break you down, but usually they don't. They catch you on the wings, whipping balls in.
Sure. City City have no joy against Spurs, truly.
Yeah.
But a team like City generally would have more happiness against that low block.
Yes.
Not to say Liverpool can't. I'm not saying that really at all. But when push comes to shove, I'm choosing one team to break that low block down. City all the way.
Yeah, because they have the possession and they're used to just making the tiki-taka runs that will move the offside line back and then having the ball sent the other way for a player making a run into space. But Liverpool, their bread and butter is on the wings, the attacking fullbacks. Kudos to Tottenham, I will say. That point, it was big for them, seeing that probably they would have gone in, as players and as players, you obviously want to win. But if you were to look at the schedule and see Liverpool at home, it's a tough ask, right? But to get a point out of 3 where you probably should have got, not should have got, because they did play well enough to get that point and maybe more. It was unlucky deflection for the goal for Liverpool because that shot was going way wide.
And they should have won it at the death too.
Yeah.
Højbjerg, first of all, should have let that ball go.
To Rewind.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And the intention was good though. You could see the intention.
Yeah. You know what? he should have let it go. And I'm not really. He must have known Bergwijn was there.
I don't think so, or else he would have left.
That's wild to me. And the execution was porous.
Yeah.
Should have been 2-1. It should have been 2-1. And I kind of almost kind of safely say that just based on how the match went. From what I saw of it, is that Liverpool didn't create chance after chance. They were fortunate to actually get that one goal.
Yeah.
Kousa.
They did have chances, but a lot of their chances were blocked.
Yeah, okay.
Last ditch defending, blocking, which was great. Liverpool actually could have won at the end. I know there was a corner to end the game, but Diaz took that touch, and I believe Emerson Royale recovered nicely to kick it out for the corner.
There was another. I think it was at 1-1 at this point. Maybe it was still 1-0 Spurs. Emerson Royale should have just whipped that ball in low along the ground. Remember that?
Oh, to Son.
And he just the guy cannot pick it across his life. Here's Spurs fans complaining about him all the time when it comes to that. It's just that's not even. Oh, I just put a ball across into the box and hope it hits someone's head. That should be on the ground and that should be a tap in.
Yeah.
And he skies it. It was.
They have their chances.
There's a lot of work that needs to be done at Spurs, but Conte, Klopp, kind of recants his post-match message to Spurs and Conte, where calling their 5th place team. I can never set my team up like that. If Klopp was if the managers were reversed and the teams were the same, Klopp would be going to that game the exact same way. He might not know how.
No.
He might not know how.
No.
But it's fine if that's the case. If that's the case, Liverpool under Conte and Spurs and Klopp managing that Spurs team, then Liverpool would have ran that match. If that's the case, if he wouldn't set his team up like that, they would have got cut.
How do you think Conte would have set up Liverpool with that Liverpool quality? I don't. But obviously, he plays a similar style.
He can still play that 3-5-2. He'll get the most out of his wing backs.
Who would he put at wing back at Liverpool?
What do you mean? You use Arnold Robinson?
But where would you put Salah? You put Mane and Salah up top.
Or you do 3-4-3. 3-4-3.
Yeah.
3-4-3. That's what, and he does do that. Absolutely. It would be a 3-4-3, so you still have your front three, and then in the middle you've got Fabinho and Thiago. Yeah. I think that's still a good, really good looking lineup, and I think that they would walk him if that's the case. For Klopp to come out and say that, he recanted today. It's not his style, and that's why I think he would lose.
No, yeah, but he wouldn't play that way. He'd still lose, but he would lose playing his way. That's what I would say.
Exactly.
He would never set up.
So for him to come out and call out Conte like that is kind of absurd, especially looking at that Spurs team, what they have. He hasn't been there for that long either, and he knows what he's up against. I know he's frustrated.
He should have known that going in
that they were going to do that.
Yeah,
that the Spurs were going to do that.
He should have known. He's too good of a coach to know.
No. And I get that he's frustrating. He's a little crestfallen about most likely now not getting the PL title. It's not done yet, but I mean, come on, man. I know it's all emotion, but it's a ridiculous thing to say.
Yeah,
it's
not the first ridiculous thing he said. But
no,
it will continue to happen. We'll speak of it probably soon in the future, but not a good result, obviously, for Liverpool, and not just because they tied, but it was the performance that backed the result. It didn't really give. It wasn't very Liverpool coming to a conclusion to the season, fighting for everything. They did well to get the point, as I said, lucky goal. There could have a few bounces gone their way, but I think from what I saw, the draw was the correct result.
I agree. I mean, who is Liverpool in the PL this season when it comes to a top club actually pulled out a win when they're kind of playing a low block? I think they drew Chelsea both
twice.
times.
Yeah, right. Tottenham both times. Arsenal, I believe, smashed, right? Or 3-1, 3-0. Maybe it was 3-0 and they ended 3-1 because Jota scored 2 goals in that one. Mm-hmm. Was it 2-0 and 3-1? Those were
maybe they did reasonably well against Arsenal.
Yeah,
and I'm not counting United.
Yeah, well, I was going to say they thwarted.
They smashed them. Thwart.
But yeah, they even lost. But against David Moyes, I guess not.
West Ham. It was a weird one.
It was a
weird one.
But it looks like City has it now, and City sensing. After Liverpool knew that a win would be good enough to put them 3 points clear instead of 1, but they made sure to bag 5 and bag 2 very late in the 90th and I believe the 92nd minute. That tells the whole difference.
For sure. I mean, that's an extra point right there, right? So let's stick within Liverpool and get on to Everton, who have clambered out of the relegation. They're still in the battle, but definitely on the relegation zone. And they've got enough momentum. Some big wins, man. Leicester's very, very inconsistent, and you got to look at that match if you're Everton, being like, we need to get 3 points here. Again, 2 matches in a row, Jordan Pickford has got trumps.
Yes.
Say what you will about the man.
Tiny arms.
Say what you will about the man. He has his shortcomings, and he is error prone. But when it comes to him being error prone, I never think it's him actually, crumbling under the pressure. I think he just kind of is. You can see him making mistakes in any match.
Yes.
But he's there. And he's willing to take on the pressure, and he's always vocal. He's never shying away from the spotlight. And I think you got to give him a little bit of a tip of the cap.
I do wholeheartedly. It's been a tough year for obviously Everton and him. He's fighting for his starting spot in the England squad. Ramsdale playing amazing all year. Who else is in the competition?
It would be them too. Nick Pope's there. I've always really liked Nick Pope. I was just having this conversation on the weekend with I think Dave and Steph. They came by the bar. Anyway, it's like they have a lot of good keepers who you could
good keepers.
Good keepers. There's no class.
Yeah,
there's no class keepers. I'm not even going near world class. But there's they're good keepers. And like Nick Pope before I think last World Cup. I really fancied him to be their starter, and he picked up an injury like a month or 2 before. And Pickford showed up, and Pickford is there. Like he's well protected, but again, he's vocal.
Sometimes a bit too vocal.
I don't mind that.
I know, but it just comes off as like nagging to me. It's just like whenever there's an error, he's quick to yell. It's just like sometimes you gotta look at yourself too.
Sure.
And even back in years when he had that horrible stinger against Liverpool, he's looking at the linesman right away instead of just looking at himself.
I mean, with that particular incident, if I was him, I'd be looking for any excuse.
No, but that one you got to point the finger at yourself. And there are times where I think he overdoes it, and I'm like, you're not that good of a goalie to be yelling that much.
Yep,
that's
fair. That is his personality, and that's what I mean when it's like. Maybe I'd like to hear him more in post-match interviews, hear what he has to say about himself, how he is in terms of, putting some of the blame on himself. So I don't know. Yeah. I see your point, but I can't actually say that he doesn't actually call himself out. So,
but for this game, great. And
2 in a row. 2 in a row
against Chelsea.
Against Chelsea as well. Like that's 4 points that I think you can put down to him.
Yeah.
When you're up, you're up. It's not like the second goal is there.
Still leaking. Obviously, the team in front of them needs something. Maybe just a fresh start in the year. I'm not saying that they're going to be in Europe next year. They just need something to carry forward for next year. And obviously, he's going to be most likely staying. But if two good results gets them out of danger for now. But there's still a tough run of fixtures for them that they have to still get results to maintain that relegation battle.
Indeed. And we will touch on them anyway. When we come back to England, let's go off to Italy. And quickly, the relegation battle. Cagliari kept Genoa right back in it after.
No, we kept.
You kept Juve Genoa on Friday. That was Friday. Yep. Yes. Juve's up 1-0 in the 87th.
Yep, 87th is when the first goal happened.
Yeah, nice little slip. But who got caught out there? Rugani?
No,
oh, was it? Was it Shilio? Okay.
Yeah, he was for both.
Oh, see, I didn't see the penalty.
Yeah, he tackled. No need for that tackle.
Oh no, I did see the penalty. I did. Yeah, and then and Keane missed that sitter at 1-0 like afterwards.
Oh,
just a mental, frantic finish to that match, and Genoa pulled it out, and they are right back in
the relegation fight.
The relegation fight. Completely. Let's see here. It's
29, 28, 28, right?
All 2 matches left for everyone. 30 for Salernitana. Cagliari at 29. Genoa at 28. It's
You gotta fight.
Extremely, extremely tight. And Genoa, more or less, even with a draw, would have been looking pretty bad. And Cagliari gets a penalty in the last minute, I think the 96th. To tie Salernitana. I can't. I want them to stay up, but I kind of want them just to go down, so I never have to try to say the name again.
Cagliari or Salernitana?
Salernitana. Yeah, Cagliari's fine.
But this is inspiring. I want them to stay.
No, I want them to stay too.
Okay.
I just want the only reason I want them down so I don't have to fumble with their name next season. Wild stuff. That would have set them 5 points ahead of both of them had they won that match. So big swing, and it just sucked them right back down. They are 1 point clear. They have Empoli on the road and then Udinese at home. Cagliari have Inter this weekend, which would be interesting actually. And then I think they have Venezia the last week. They do. And then Genoa have Napoli on the road and Bologna at home.
2 tough matches.
You know what? I think Bologna will be kind of checked out by then. They won't have the desire. I actually like Genoa to win that match. I'm already mentally putting money down.
Just for the relegation battle. And at the other end of the table,
2 big comebacks.
Friday. As you said, Inter always beat Empoli. It's usually 1 goal game.
Usually 1 goal game, yeah.
Going down 2-0 at home.
Yeah. Half an hour in.
When you have a tight, they just woke up, they just didn't come ready to play. Maybe they underestimated this team, seeing the history they had over the last game, saying we'll win. Doesn't matter where they have the quality, but to come out like that, but it's
once they went down 2-0, they woke up. They woke the hell up.
It shouldn't take going down 2-0 when you're in a title race.
I couldn't agree more. That said, they set the season high record for all top 5 leagues for most shots taken. There's 37 shots in the comeback.
Really?
Yeah, they had 37 shots.
Shot attempts.
Okay. Yes, not on target. That would be ridiculous. Just someone give that keeper a raise if that's the case.
Or fire everyone in front of the keeper.
A little bit of both. But Empoli were gifting them goals. Did you see them?
I know one was an own goal.
There was a clearance that their defender passed right to Martinez, and I think the other one too, very similar. They were just gifts. They were, and then by the fourth one, Empoli were just exhausted too. They were absolutely exhausted. I actually turned on the last 3 minutes of that match, the injury time, just to see, and right away I'm they were just running on Empoli. There was no one tracking back. It was chance after chance. And they put it away.
If they're giving up 37 shot attempts, you're definitely going to be tired. That means you're doing a lot of things wrong.
Mm-hmm. You're not holding the ball whatsoever.
And you're running to make up for all the mistakes you're doing.
Good point.
Prior, so it doesn't surprise me. Once it was 2-2 at half, right?
Yeah. And once I saw that, it was
I was
they're coming back. I know. I know.
You knew it was over by then.
Yeah.
The only thing that could save them is if Inter just kept missing. But Inter at that point, if you come back to 2-2 at halftime speeches, one is riding high, one is riding low, and it's just see you later from there.
Yep, agreed. And again, now onto Milan. They played very well in this match. I watched that match front to back. Sandro Tonali, I love that boy. I fucking love it. He got his goal. So he got, and it was early. I'd say 15 minutes in or so. He got a goal called back for offside, which they let play because it was very quick. It was a long ball lumped in, and Tonali just won the tackle as it came down because the defender kind of flubbed his lines, and then he put it away nicely. And they called it back, but I immediately texted Dave, next time you order jerseys, I need a Tonali jersey. I absolutely. I have my Timber jersey on right now. I'm waiting for him to come to United. Fingers crossed.
Good luck with that.
Why?
Oh, good luck. You need it.
It's not sort of the question. Anyway. Bring him in.
A brace. He bags a brace.
He does. They were all very intelligent runs, hardworking runs from Tonali. It was all layup, just beating guys on the way.
Both.
He's and quite nicely.
And actually having quality,
beautifully.
He usually has bad quality finishes, but if you're not going to finish well, you at least should be assisting well, right? And if, with his pace and his size and speed.
So much potential there.
He just needs to work on the final third,
the
final ball, or the finishing, and he'll be
He just
a
needs to
world-class player, I think.
I agree.
He could be.
He could be.
He just needs to work on it. Just like if he can get to he'd be very similar, obviously taller, but I would say to Son.
Yeah.
I would say if he could work on his finishing in final third, I could be a player obviously more physically demanding, so that
even
advantageous. But I could be like a class player like Son.
But comparable. I can agree more, man. Like that's a shit, and that's something that can easily come. He has the mentality, right? So and knows that he's a goal scorer. He takes his shot is good, his passing is good. It's just inconsistent.
Yeah.
But he has his head up. He has pace, he has dribbling skills, but he's looking.
Yeah.
He's absolutely looking. And I would love him. I would love him. They answered really well. They went down 1-0. And honestly, relatively early. Crucial goal right at the start of halftime from Leao for the tap into Tonali. And then the reverse on the other side of halftime. Pretty much the exact same thing. But, they were all over them early. It's unfortunate to go down. I could see Hellas's goal coming. It was like, once he broke down the left wing, like the left-hand side, and that ball went in, it's like, it's 1-0 for sure. But
a good response.
They responded well, but you know what? I think just they came out so strong that I don't think they weren't rattled. They were not rattled. And
they have something to play for, and if they can get this, I think it will raise.
They need 4 points the rest of the way.
2 games left, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping
I will be previewing that. Also, subscribe, all that stuff. Come on, Ram, you already have. Just leave a comment, why don't you? Give us a like. I will be previewing that on Thursday. Alone.
I will not be here.
Yes, Mike. Mike will be playing. Actually,
I'll be starting my soccer. Get it back. Hopefully, losing all this dead weight.
Yeah,
COVID weight.
You will. I believe in you. Okay, let's nip on back. I'm sorry.
I know. I wish we could nip on back.
I didn't forget. I almost forgot. But I couldn't let you off that easy. Copa Italia final Wednesday. Juve Inter. Where is that even being held?
I believe it is.
I'm going to tell you right now.
No, it's
Rome, Stadio Olimpico.
Oh,
is it always there?
No, last year it was at
that was unjust.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't do that.
The Mappe, and I thought they were doing it at a smaller venue too.
If you don't have a Wembley for your country, then you can't be at the same place. So yeah. All right. So it's at the Olimpico. And Mike, come on, please take us away. I know you're all just thrown away already.
I think we're gonna lose this match. I just really hope Dybala doesn't play. If Dybala doesn't play, only because of the rumors. I know it's always rumors. They always hear 365 days a week or days of the year. But the one that's really disturbing is that there's an agreement with Inter for less than what Juve offered, which is really bugging me. If it is true, that he should not see the field.
That bugs me too.
He should not see the field.
It doesn't really. I mean, where do you think the rationale is behind it?
No, you don't go Juve to Inter. I don't care who you are.
Yeah, and for less money.
Yeah. I guess there's a backlog because we were offering 6, and apparently the agreement's for 5. But once I hear that, if I'm Allegri, you're not playing.
Signing on bonus
until you come out. He hasn't come out and said anything, right? Mm-hmm. And I think this really fucks with the team because if he's included in this, it's like okay, I get he's on his farewell tour. He is, club.
He doesn't need a farewell tour.
Captain. He doesn't deserve anything because he gets hurt all when we need him. Mm-hmm. I would love to have.
He's not a legend. If he stuck around, maybe he could become one, but he's certainly not.
You don't ask for the number 10, say I want to be here and then go to Inter. Don't. I know he hasn't done it yet, but just the thought of that has me sickened. Other than that, though, Juve, I guess this is the only trophy we have left to play for. Obviously, we lost to Inter in the Supercopa back in January. It's a rival, direct rival. Obviously, not as direct as Milan, but it is our rival. You never want to lose your rival, especially in the final. But from this Juve team, I don't see it in them.
Who are you starting? I want to hear about your starting lineup, where your thoughts are, because Inter's set. Inter is set, and they're going
to play.
Yes, but this can definitely benefit you. They're playing full tilt every week. for the Scudetto,
Yeah.
and the lineup's not really getting rotated. You know, they took off Dumfries against Empoli in like the 75th. They started Correa instead of Dzeko.
Yeah.
That's about it. That's really about it. You know, and that's in your favor for sure.
Yes, and the way we played them last time, although we lost, and that pretty much summed up our title race. Very slim chances of title race.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy with that performance, although we lost. I feel as though we did have the better chances.
You did create a lot of chances in that match.
We were wasteful, but the fact that we still didn't get anything from it, it just proves to me that this team it needs a year, like a fresh start. And I think with a fresh start, getting a proper summer with all the players, hopefully Chiesa coming back, and we still have injuries to our midfield, depleted midfield, where that's why Rabiot has to play game in, game out. Although Allegri loves him, I just don't see
your midfield is depleted. You have no Locatelli. It's basically Zakaria, Rabiot, and Artur.
Yeah, Artur just come back from injury though.
Yeah,
Zakaria did come back about like 3 weeks ago. It's rabid. I do like Moretti, the youngster we've been playing.
Yeah, but are you doing that in the Coppa Italia final?
No, he's not playing in the Coppa Italia final.
No.
You're going to give it to experienced players, but
sure.
With an aging Bonucci, Chiellini.
So that's what I want to talk to you about.
They're both going to play in this final.
You think it's
100%?
Are you going 3 at the back with Dullit though?
I don't know.
I said it's
if we don't match up against 3-5-4-3 or 3-5-2. No matter how we play, it's not going to be a good matchup. But both of them are playing for sure, 100%. Chiellini's last goodbye, Bonucci. I would play Dullit, right? But
okay, I was actually mulling this over today. I was really trying to think about your lineup, considering your injuries, considering Chiellini. Is there going to be a little bit of a heart thing?
There will be.
Is it a bad thing?
It'll be. I would do Chiellini and Dullit. I understand the Chiellini argument.
Mm-hmm.
He may not play 90 minutes, but at least start him, play him 60.
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe in 45.
But 3-4-3?
And we can't do 3-4-3. The midfield's too depleted.
Yeah, I guess if you did that,
we have to
no
do
one
Dullit, right? We have to put
no
Quadrado on the right.
Is Sandro going to be back? Maybe not. Probably not.
Rabiot would have to on the left.
On the left. It would be Quadrado, Zakaria, Artur, and Rabiot.
No, but not even. It could be Zakaria, Rabiot, and Sandro.
Is Sandro healthy?
I think he should.
I think, yeah. Oh, no, it's Danilo who is.
Danilo is out, yeah.
Danilo.
Sure. But Sandro is healthy, I believe. And it would have Rabiot starting. And it might be Zakaria. I wouldn't put Artur there. He's now come back. And I don't think he's won over Allegri.
So, 4-2-3-1. Is that what you're looking at right now?
It's a loss. 2-0 Inter. That's all I'm looking at. And I don't see, I think it'll be 1-0 and they'll get the goal within the 80th and I get to put us to bed. We won't create anything. I'm not confident in this team.
I like you.
And
the
game against Genoa, it's just we can't even hold on to that. What he thinks I'm going to do against Inter. I know it's a final and you're going to get up for that, but if we at least got in a tie against Inter in the league, I would have felt more confident.
I mean, I think you guys did actually put in a good performance on the last fixture. I'm not going to say the reverse, but I'd like you to eat this. So I'm going to go.
Are you betting with your heart and hoping extra time?
No. I'm
extra time is a great result for Milan.
Yeah, it is. I definitely take that. But I'm gonna say 2-1. Because you know what? I think that could also be playing in the back of Inter's heads as well. It's we don't really want this to go. There's a lot of factors for Inter here. You guys have this to focus on. I think the Scudetto race. You have experience. I know you're a little depleted right now, and you're not up to Inter's level really, but you guys can give them a game. I like you. I like you as 2-1.
Normal time?
Yeah.
I hope so, but it has Inter written all over it, and if they win the treble, sorry, not the treble, but a treble.
The Supercopa is what he's referring to.
Yes, it'll be pretty heartbreaking. Now, can we get out of this Serie A?
Yes.
Can we get out of Italy?
We're out of Italy. We're back.
We never have to talk about Juve again. Thank the Lord. We made Champions League. We don't have to talk.
Never. Well, not till
next year.
No. There's gonna be all this. What are you guys gonna do in the off season? There's gonna be all this transfer talk. Trust me, I'll be all over it. Don't worry. On Thursday, I'm gonna probably doing some transfer stuff too, and I'm gonna do a scout because it's just gonna be me. Villa, Liverpool tomorrow. I think Gerrard makes up for the slip and just hands it to him.
Hands it to them?
3-0. 3-0. Villa have not been nice, big win against Burnley on the weekend. Really disappointed in Burnley there. And now, I don't want Burnley down, but I don't want Leeds down more. So
you want Burnley?
Well, I mean, hopefully
you're coming home.
No, Everton's still hanging. Everton's still hanging.
You're coming home.
Everton is still hanging. If Everton drop points to Watford, we'll talk.
No, this will be. I agree. This will be very similar to City bowing out of the Champions League and coming back the next game hungry. Villa. I don't think Gerrard will just say, "Oh, I got Liverpool on the back of my mind."
Yeah, but I honestly don't think his heart's going to be in trying to win this game. I actually, and I think it's going to kind of trickle down the players. I genuinely think, yes, he's going to have a game plan. Let's try to follow this game plan. But I feel like he might leave out some dotted I's and crossed T's in terms of like what needs to be done. I genuinely do.
No, I don't think so. But
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if Villa actually give him a match.
No, I think it'll be 2-0. I don't think it'll be like a
comfy 2,
but it would be a comfy 2.
Comfy 2, like by the 60th.
Yeah.
And then at 60th, like gentleman's agreement mentally between Klopp and Gerrard.
Yeah, just see it through to like 75 and then make their subs to just see out the game.
Yeah.
I was still. Is Robertson hurt? Why did he get subbed off?
I'm wondering about that too. And
because I don't think he has to be subbed.
He is probable lineup is Tsimikas on FOTMob, and yeah, I totally forgot about that.
He must have a niggling injury because I'm like, I understand.
Once I saw that, once I saw that,
but he still looked kind of disappointed to be taken off. So that's what I still don't know. Regardless,
he's not injured on FPL.
I don't know,
which is weird. It's not. I don't know. I'm not going to actually look into it too much.
Yeah, I'm not either. But I don't see Aston Villa, although they've had some good performances.
They've been very inconsistent.
Yes, I was going to say good from like performance-wise against the big teams. They played well, but they just haven't got the results. But most notably that Tottenham game where they dominated the first half and they were still down 1-0.
They did. They
should have been up 3-1.
I know.
And the game ended 4-0. I could see
the heart was there. They didn't throw in the towel.
No,
and you got to hand them that. In this match, I feel like there's gonna be really flat.
Yeah, after the tie and Klopp's remarks, Liverpool are gonna come out blazing.
Yeah.
Will they score 3-4? I don't think so, but I think they'll get 2 and just see. You know what? We got this. Just to shut it down, and possess it out.
No.
Did you put a score?
3-0.
Oh, 3.
Watford hosting Everton. It's big. Everton's got to be looking at this like we need to just play sound. Watford deflated again. Last week I don't know if we spoke with this. No, because we only did one episode last week, right?
Yeah.
What did I say about Roy Hodgson? Terrible appointment. And then late last week he comes out and says, "I'll be leaving the club at the end of the summer or at the end of the season." It's like, man, yeah, of course you were.
Yeah,
of course you were.
That wasn't there's nothing to be said about Watford.
No, their ownership is absolutely mental. I forget. It was 2 managers ago again. I forget who the manager was at the beginning of the season. He gets them up. They're actually sitting 14th or 15th in middle October, and he gets a sack. And I like a lot of their players. They get what they deserve. I like a few of their players. I don't say a lot. I like Dennis and Sarr, and that's about it.
No, they
and Pedro.
All they have to do is play spoilers for this game.
There's nothing there. He plays Palace. Watford plays Palace last week. He's smiling, shaking hands with Vieira. The team gets relegated. He's shaking hands with all of his ex-Palace players. That's what that match was about for him.
The reunion.
Come on, man.
A reunion.
Come on. Everton 2-0, and I think Everton's like, you know what? Let's get Pickford this clean sheet. It'll come. We'll get it.
I don't think a clean sheet's coming for Everton.
The thing is here is like Everton need to be very careful here because Roy Hodgson is, if I'm Watford, I'd set up in a low block in this match. I'd frustrate.
They're not doing that.
I would frustrate. I know. That's what I would frustrate the hell out of Everton and know that they are more than susceptible and not that good at covering the counter.
Watford are scoring this game. I'll give them that.
Fine, yeah.
I will give them that.
You know what? Yeah, but because the onus is on Everton. If Everton don't get one in the first half an hour, especially the first half, things are going to get dicey. If Watford cared at all to win,
they want to play spoiler. That's the only motivation I can see. I do have them scoring. I had 1-1. But then I started thinking, I'm like, is it going to be eerily similar to the Leicester game? And I know I had the stupid remarks and saying, if I were to pick one of these teams to score 2 goals, I'd pick Everton over Leicester. And, compared me to Michael Owen phrases with that. But in this game, if I were to pick a team to score 2, I would pick Watford.
I mean, they smashed them on the reverse. They smashed them.
It was 5-2, right?
Yeah, out of nowhere.
And the King got the hat trick. Yeah. I'm going to stick with 1-1.
You want for a draw, eh? I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
I think
there's so many twists and turns in this relegation race, top 4 race. Terrace has been steady, but always tight.
I think this is where Lampard comes back down a bit. Got
maybe
2 big results.
Maybe I can see it. You know what? I can see it.
And Watford is now that they're relegated, they have nothing to lose. Obviously, they're just going to play soccer. Football.
Sure.
They're going to play the exciting football,
as much as they can.
Because is it the last home game? Or one of their last? Either way, they're going to come out for the fans.
Yeah.
I know we're relegated, but here's a show. This is what we were capable of, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a match I want to
watch.
To think over a little more. Come match day. I know I'm kind of on the Everton train right now, not with my heart, but just in my head. And I'm really just down and out about Watford. But yeah, it is Lampard.
This will be a result that will make Everton fans frustrated. We could have secured Premier League football with a win, pretty much. I think if they win this,
Watford's backline is so bad though.
It is.
It's so bad.
But they're attacking. It's like they can have the spark to go up.
And that's where
they have the potential.
So I'm looking at this match.
So inconsistent.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one for sure. Leeds Chelsea. Leeds at home. Chelsea. Listen, Luke Aylin's out. Maybe a good thing, but just based on how deep, what the lack of depth is like at Leeds, it's not a great thing. Struik's gonna be coming in. Do you maybe switch to a back 3 there? But then you have Dallas out as well. So defensively, they're already so porous, and then you're hurting in that sense, like they have been all season. But this is a new one, having Ayling and Dallas out. Mm-hmm. So, I think he's still got to switch to a back 4. I don't think he can do a back 3 with that team. I really don't. Chelsea just need to win this so they don't get sucked into a top 4 race.
They're smashing this game. There's no I don't know why. When you were talking to us, I'm like, you better not have
Leeds need this.
They do need.
They're at home.
It's 4-0 Chelsea. After just blowing it against Wolves, Tuchel's on their ass. They're not having another bad result in a while.
Mike, they've been having bad results.
I know, but ever since the Champions League,
Everton just happened, and what happened? No, they were struggling before that. They were
struggling.
Brentford, they got smashed.
Mm-hmm.
That was before Champions League. Then they bounced back with a nice result. I forget against who. I think they nicked that West Ham. That West Ham result, did they not? Or was that after? That was after Real. That was all after Real. So yeah, so they get smashed by Brentford. Here, I'm gonna check this.
This is a 4-0. After blowing the 2-0 late to Wolves, Tuchel's not having any of it.
Palace in the FA Cup, that's what it was. And the Southampton smash.
Hey,
Ron, how you doing, buddy?
Good to see you. Finally, we've been waiting, but
I know normally he's such a night owl. Normally we do it 9:15. Yeah, I think he'd be around for that. They have not been bouncing back. I know this because I've been saying that they bounce back.
I know they haven't.
They draw United as well. Leeds are shambles. There's still all those injuries, but Ellen Road it's not a great place. It's not a great place to go to. Leeds are going to be desperate.
What are you going with? I'm
going 2-1 Leeds.
2-1 Leeds.
Yep.
It's going to be 2-0 after 30 minutes.
We're on 2-1 leads. I believe, and you know what?
You believe?
I believe. See, the thing is here though is like Chelsea. If they lose this match and Spurs win, they are legitimately in a top 4 race.
Yes, but they won't go out of the top 4.
That would be hilarious.
This is
at this point. At this point, it would be hilarious.
This is a smashing.
Not
even close. Not even wasting my time with this.
Okay. All right. Moving along. I maybe I'm really pulling for leads.
No, a bit too much. You're pulling a bit too much. You got to be realistic.
I want to see these lineups. I want these are all games, especially
this game on Saturday.
No, it's what do you mean? It's midweek.
Oh, midweek. Oh my God, Wednesday. Yeah, I'm doubling down.
Most underrated podcast.
No, I'm just. I'm so used to Champions League in the midweek, but now it's just a Saturday.
Yeah.
Just a Saturday.
Okay. City Wolves. Wolves at home.
They usually cause City trouble.
Mm-hmm. They've been pissed poor lately.
Yes, but the great result against Chelsea.
Come back.
Obviously not the first 70 minutes,
big,
but to come back like that, sure. I was not expecting that.
You're not getting that from City. I'm going to 3-0 City.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you're spending less time like I was.
Yeah, I'm moving.
I think this will be not difficult. I think it'll just be 2-0 City. Pretty routine. More majority possession. Wolves, they hit their peak in mid-season and then have just been flat ever since. Although they're at home.
It wasn't that long ago that they were, pushing for a top 7.
Yes.
That was like maybe a month ago.
Yeah. When they got to like 48, 49, that's when they peaked.
Yeah.
I don't think they've had like 10
Brighton
points
smashed them.
They haven't had like 7 points since. They have been woeful. City, now that they're in the Champions League, they're going to win out. They should win out. Well, they have a few tricky.
This is one that could be viewed as tricky.
But I think the West Ham one is trickier.
Yeah, at this point, especially
who's the last game of the season? Aston Villa. I think that's going to be even trickier just because
Gerrard going to actually show up for that one.
Exactly. You can bet. You'll bet.
He's going to show up for that one. Man.
Wolves. If this game was 2 months ago, I'd be a bit more weird for City, but. With them being knocked out, 2-0. I won't go 3. I think it'll be a comfortable 2-0.
Okay. All right. Let's close it out with the North London derby. Spurs, Arsenal.
This is tricky. I like even driving up here.
You were mulling over. You weren't paying attention to the lights. You're just like, oh.
No. I'm just like, obviously this game means more for Spurs, and coming off of a
2-2 for what, Rom? 2-2 for what?
Oh, he's probably talking about Wolves.
I think so. He's 3 seconds behind. Right?
Yeah. I just see this being a tie. I really don't know who the better team is. I know
North. He's going 2-0 for North London.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well,
that's your scoreline too.
No, I was going to go 1-0. But it should be higher scoring because of the stakes of the game. I was glad that this game got moved back to the end of the season, but I would rather it just be the last game of the season. They couldn't do that. They couldn't do that. And you know what? Why not?
You can't rearrange a schedule like that. You have this set schedule. That match is set at any point. Frankly, I thought it was kind of absurd that they did this anyway. I see why they did it, but this was scheduled so long ago with so much time in between. It's like it should have been just done as soon as possible.
Yes, especially with Arsenal with no European football.
Yes, absolutely. Or Spurs.
But the way I thought of this game is both teams in recent history do not come up to the occasion when needed. And I looked at this game as which team, if I were to bet on, would disappoint me more. My heart and what I felt would happen would be that Arsenal would be the team that disappointed more, only because of the coaching. That said, I still do not believe in Tottenham enough to get the 3 points that they desperately need in this game. I think they're going to play well, but I still have a 1-1 draw. Would I want Tottenham to win? Yes, because I want a top 4 finish to the very end. I want week 38 or match day 38 to be for something like it has been the last 2 years, with Leicester obviously dropping out, but there was potential. At least last year was perfect. 3 teams, 2 places. What else could you ask for?
A title finish.
We have a title finish, so let's get a top 4 finish.
And the relegation. Yeah,
but for me, it's just like if I were to bet on a team to disappoint me more in this game, it would be Arsenal. But I can't really put Tottenham to secure the 3 points in this game, knowing that Arsenal are there. They would be content with the tie, right? So they're not. The onus is on Tottenham to go get it. Can they go get it under Conte? No, because he's a type of manager that will just set up defensively and wait for counterattack. And I don't think Arsenal's going to give any counterattack room for Son, Kane, and Kulusevski to run riot. And maybe if Doherty was in this game, it'd be different because that would give another attacking option. But do I believe in Emerson Royale? Sessegnon is young. I know he's had he had a great pass this on against.
He's had moments.
But
he's also had some poor moments as well.
But this is he's in this spot for the end of the season, right? Because I believe Reguilon's out.
Yes.
For the season, right?
Yes, or at least maybe last week. Maybe.
So it's his spot to lose, but I really can't see Arsenal going out because they have the 4-point advantage. They'd be content with the tie, and I think they can play for the tie. So that's why I'm going 1-1.
I think you know what? I think Conte can rile his team up. There's.
You think he can play outside of his zone, his comfort zone for this?
It's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky because you know what? When that team's so thin,
it is.
It's you turn the bench. You have Lucas Moura and Bergwijn. Yeah, and that's it. And the problems there is that your midfield, they are dynamic, hard-working midfielders. They're not players that are going to break down a low block.
No.
And that's the issue. If you saw them against Brentford a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, it was a snore fest. 0-0, nothing. And they needed the points. I forget it was at home. I think Brentford was at home. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, their away form has been bad. That's why I was also picking the 3-0 smashing with Liverpool. But that was a good result.
Different game though.
Different game. Very
different game. Different game. And their home form is good. And the home team has been owning this fixture for a while now. And I think they're gonna pull it out. I think you're gonna get your wish. Last week of the season.
I hope so.
Arsenal they'll play Everton too. If it does come down to both teams winning this weekend, I'm gonna give it to Spurs. And I'm gonna go 1-0.
A KG 1-8.
Well, you know what, man? It's like it could. I'm going 1-0 because I think Spurs will nick it in the second half. But if Spurs get it early, then they could kind of run the score up, I think, a little bit.
Then they need to score the first goal. Obviously,
yes.
They need to win. Obviously
that first 20 minutes. Which
set
match?
Set the tone.
Much like we were talking last week, the Rangers Leipzig.
But that's different.
Rangers, I agree. I agree.
Nothing to lose. Tottenham have everything to lose here.
Yes,
right, and that's going to be in the back of their mind. And Arsenal can just go in there knowing a tie is good enough to get fourth.
And you got to recognize if you're Arsenal that Ben White might be back for this match. There's a decent chance of him coming back, but
their form has been good enough, Arsenal, to. I just wonder how Arteta's going to line up.
It's got to be cagey. It's got to be because you want to get at him. You want to set the tone early. First 15 minutes. If
you don't want them getting too much confidence and walking all over you to get the confidence to have the ball all the time. You still, if you're Arsenal, you want the ball, right? You want the ball, because usually when you have the ball, you don't concede. But B, you want to possess.
Michael Owen strikes again.
You want to possess the game and be in control of the game. You don't want Tottenham to be free firing. I know they're not going to come out that they usually do, Tottenham. Counterattack, that will still be in the back of their head because that's drilled into every Conte team. But you they're at home. You know they're going to come out good. You want to set the tone and have a good first 10 minutes with possession. If you possess the first 10 minutes of the game, you're taking the crowd out, and then it'll be easier to play your frustrating attack. I know against Leeds they were gifted the first goal at home and then obviously score right away and up 2-0. You're rarely going to lose that, although they almost did up a man. However, I think Arteta will be like, that performance wasn't good enough. He may have been looking ahead. The only concern I have is who's he going to start between? I think he's going to start Saka and Smith Rowe and not Martinelli. But
Martinelli works hard down the wings, man.
I know, but are you going to live out Smith Rowe then?
He has been.
I
Smith
know.
Rowe barely came on a couple of matches ago. Who was the big match a couple of matches ago? It was like the 80s. He came on like the 87th. I don't think it was
he
Leeds
came
match.
in late in this match too, against Leeds too.
Yeah.
I think he came on
And you know what? I think it was against West Ham. I don't think he even really came on, and I think it was the West Ham match. I'm thinking of 87th minute.
So
Saka got injured.
You think he leaves Smith Rowe out?
Tricky one. But if that's who you've been going with, and that'd be tactical. I wouldn't really bat an eyelash either way. Smith Rowe's great. He's a great player. But the faith seems to be in Martinelli at the moment.
Yeah.
Who's got more? Who's Conte, Arteta? Who's got more experience right now? This is a bit of a watershed match for Arteta. Going up against the likes managerial wise against Conte, and it's arguably, I would say this is probably the second biggest match of Arteta's managerial career other than the FA Cup final. You can knock down like any like road two, but when it comes to like context, I would say so.
Yeah, this is crucial.
Can he handle it? He did the first time. I'm gonna edge it. I think it's gonna be cagey. It's gonna be cagey. I hope it's not. If there's no goals in the first 15 minutes, or if it's not open in the first 15 minutes, I think you'd be able to tell within even the first 10. If it's like super slow.
Next goal wins, pretty much.
More or less.
I mean,
next goal wins and then that other team. Especially, I don't like if Spurs go down. Them coming back. No. If Arsenal go down, I can see them coming back a little bit more. They have more of an ability in the midfield to pick the passes and break down a little bit. I know Partey's out, which is huge, but there's just a little bit more finesse, especially with the likes of Odegaard. If you're setting up camp, to maybe actually break them down.
Yeah, I couldn't pick a winner. I really couldn't because both teams let you down. Just when they start to play well, they let you down. They let you down. And that's been a theme for all the fans of those clubs, which is unfortunate. But hopefully good times ahead. Hopefully. But please put up a better Big Four fight, top four fight next year, both these teams. Well, Arsenal, if they get it, they say, well, we got it. We're a top four team. What are you talking about? But at least come closer to the top two. I think these top two will be top two for the next 2 years, but after that, it'll be hopefully more balanced. Maybe even just one after.
We'll see. I mean, if Spurs lose Conte in the offseason, where are they?
I was referring to Erling Haaland.
Oh, baby. Yeah. Haaland to City. On Thursday, I think I might do a little bit of transfer.
Well, it's not done yet, but it's pretty much done.
It's done. Dortmund let him go to like sort of personal stuff.
Oh, is he not playing for them the rest of the season?
I'm not saying the rest of the season, but I don't think this week.
Oh yeah, he flew to City and then he flew back to.
And then maybe he's going to Norway. I don't know what he's doing, or he's sorting out some personal stuff. All right, guys. Tell your friends, like, subscribe, leave a comment. We will get back to you. We love to chat football, and Mike won't be, but I'll be back Thursday night to review these midweek matches. Preview the weekends, EPL and Serie A, and the FA Cup final.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I'll do the Scout and the Coppa Italia, and maybe a little transfer talk. We'll see what happens.
Just so if you Juve won, you could wear it.
I'll just FedEx it to me. All right. Okay.
Soon.